We'll start. We will chant Om 3 times, followed by the invocation shloka. Om. 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 Sahana Bhavatu. Sahanao Bhunaktu. Sahaviryam Karavavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. As we are doing the Drg Drsya Viveka, uh, please chant. Let us chant the invocation shloka. Okay? Please repeat after me. Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Druk. Please go off mute.
Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drik.
Tadrishyam Druktu Manasam.
Tat Drishyam Driktu Manasam.
Drishyadhivruttaya Sakshi.
Drishyaya Di Vrittaya Sakshi.
Drugevanatu Drishyate.
Drike Natu Drishyate.
So that was the invocation shloka. Okay. So because we weren't in touch the past few weeks, let's summarize where we are. So we said that Maya has two powers, Vikshepa Shakti and Avarna Shakti. And this Vikshepa Shakti is creating this entirety or like an entire universe from the subtle to the total gross, right? Everything is created by this Vikshepa Shakti. When this Vikshepa Shakti is creating this entire thing, Avarna Shakti, what it is doing is that it is veiling my true vision. So it is veiling the difference between Brahman and Maya. So what is happening? And this veiling is happening both inside and outside. Within me, how it is veiling the difference? I am Sakshi, and anything from the Linga. Linga meaning Lingadi, meaning like starting from Linga, meaning starting from our Karna Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, and the Sthula Sharira, all of those differences are veiled. Now, what happened is that even though I am Sakshi, because this difference is veiled, I start thinking that I am Ahankara, I am my Buddhi, I am my mind, I am my Indriyas, I am my physical body. This kind of thinking is happening. Now, outside, what is this veiling? Outside everything that I see in this world, I am only seeing Nama and Rupa. And the Satchit Ananda Swarupa of the nature, I forget to see. Because in one of our earlier shlokas, it is said Asti bhati priyam rupa nama panchashteti panchakam. Right? So these are the five aspects. Aditrayam, Brahma Rupam, Jagat Rupam, Tatodvayam. So first three are Asti Bhati Priyam are Brahma Rupa, and Nama and Rupa are belongs to Jagat. Now what we are seeing is that we are unable to see this, and we are only able to see because Avana Shakti is meaning this. So Avana Shakti is, and then we are only paying attention to Nama and Rupa. So Avana Shakti is the culprit. And this Avana Shakti is our samsara, reason for our samsara. So now, if we understand that Avana Shakti is the main problem, which is veiling the difference between who I am and who I am not, or what this world is and what this world is not, what I need to do is that I have to break the power of Avarna Shakti. So once we understood this point, what we need to do is we need to work on this. And so here, the teacher, Swami Vidyaranyaji, has given 6 different types of exercises. Okay? This Samadhi, yes, divided initially into 2, Antaha and Bahih. Antaha means internal, Bahih means external. Within internal, he said, Antaha, Drusyanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi, Antaha, Shabdanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi, and Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So, following Antaha means inner, Drusyanuviddha, following the Drishya. Okay? With the Alambana, with taking the Alambana, meaning like taking the starting point, not even Alambana, taking Drishya as starting point, the scene as a starting point, you will go into Savikalpa Samadhi. That is one. Taking the Shabda, instead of Drishya, it is Shabda, means again, it is not sound, rather it is the Vedic knowledge. Shabda is referring to Vedic knowledge, means scriptural knowledge about Brahman. Following that, you will go to a Savikalpa Samadhi. From either of the Savikalpa Samadhi, Savikalpa means with modification, meaning there is a thought modification is there in either of these two. So using these two, we enter into Nirvikalpa Samadhi, meaning there, where there is no Vikalpa, there is no thought modification. Why? There is no more thought there. Okay, so that is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So these are the 3 things that are prescribed. Now, what is the difference between, should I do Drusyanuviddha or should I do Shabdanuviddha Samadhi? Okay, Savikalpa. Where should I focus on? The answer is that we have to focus on both. I mean, like we have to practice both of these. Okay, not just one, but 2. So what does Antaha inside Drusyanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi do? In Drusyanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi, what we are trying to do is that when I close my eyes, what do I see? When I close my eyes, I see, meaning not actually physically see, but see my thoughts. When I see my thought, usually what happens is that if my thought is, I am hunger, right? Then what I'm going to say is, I never say I have a thought of being hungry, or I have a thought that says, let's go to a restaurant. So these kind of things we never say. Rather, what I would say is, I want to go to a restaurant. I am hungry. So what is happening? That Avana Shakti is veiling the difference. And because of that, I start identifying with my thoughts. So now, as part of Drusyanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi, what are we doing? This thought, we are separating it from us. Saying that it's just my thought. I am not this thought. Okay. So then who am I? Am I the observer of this thought? Well, actually, the observer of this thought is also not me. Why? The observer of this thought is my ahankara. Because usually what we think is that, oh, I am different from my thought. I am the observer. Okay, I am not the thought. I am the observer. But in reality, Brahman is never the observer. Rather, it is the ahankara that is observer. Now, what is the role of Brahman? What is the role of Sakshi here? Is the presence of the light. Light again is a figurative term. The presence of Brahman is what is making my ahankara to function and say that this is my thought and I am observing this thought. So the kartrutva bhavana of ahankara is made possible in the presence of or in the light of Sat or Chit. So that which is making this ahankara to think is me. Okay? Whose presence is making me think that I am seeing this thought? That is my true nature. That is who I really am. So in this way, what we are doing is that in this Shabdanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi, we are separating ourselves from what we are not. When we do that, then what is left? That is practiced in Antaha Shabdanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi. Earlier was Antaha Drishyanuviddha. Because we are following seen and seer, and we are saying that whatever is seen is not me. Now that I understand whatever is seen is not me, and what is my nature? That nature of my true nature of myself is described in Vedanta. It is described in Upanishads. What is my true nature? I am Avyakta. I am Advaita. I am Tat Chit Ananda. So these are the descriptions of my true nature. So now I I get into that thought process and I am totally focused and I'm abiding in that thought process. So that is why it is Antaha Shabdanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi. Samadhi here means your mind is totally absorbed in these stream of thoughts. Okay, all stream of thoughts are referring to specifically either Drishyanuviddha or Shabdanuviddha. That is when this happens. When whether you are doing Drishyanuviddha or Shabdanuviddha, what is happening is that in both the terms, okay, in both of them, when you have that single thought, a single stream of thought that I am Satchidananda Swarupa, or okay, I am this Chit Chaitanya aspect which is empowering this Ahankara, etc. Right? Because of whose presence, this Ahankara is able to see the thoughts, because of this um, presence of Chaitanya, this Ahankara is able to do Kartrutva or Bhoktrutva, all of those Karta, Bhokta, Bhavanas. Okay, that is me. When that thought is like prevalent and that is the only thought that you are absorbed in, then there comes a time when the Jivatva disappears temporarily. When the Jivatva disappears, what happens is that whenever I have a thought, of any thought, right? So there is a triputi is there. Triputi means a threefold factor is there. The thought is there, the observer of the thought is there, and relationship between the thought and observer, that I am thinking this thought. Okay, so this threefold thing is there. The triputty is there. But when you're totally absorbed in that, the thought, the observer, and the relationship between the thought and observer, all these three becomes one. At that time, there is no more thought. Okay, so then there is a thoughtlessness state in the mind coming from that single focused attention. That thoughtlessness state is called as Nirvikalpa Samadhi, because there is no more Vikalpa, there is no more change in the thought, because there is no thought anymore. Okay, so this way we do Antaha Drishyanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi, Antaha Shabdanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi, both of them leading to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So Nirvikalpa Samadhi is not something that I try to practice. Rather, the practice of Anta Shabdanuviddha or Drishyanuviddha will lead to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. It is all from inside. In the same way, what happened outside also, there is Bahih, Drishyanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi, Shabdanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi, and Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Nirvikalpa Samadhi is same whether it's internal or external. Now, what are we doing in Bahih, Drishyanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi? Because inside, when you said, when we are looking at our internal, okay, when we see a thought, we understand that this thought is not me. And we are separating and saying that this is not me, this is not me, this is not me. This is how we are breaking up. Now, when we look outside, what happens? Take any object in the external world, and as we studied from earlier shlokas, any object in this world has 5 aspects, right? Asti, Bhati, Priya, Nama, Rupa. Okay. Hopefully, by the time we finish this uh, Drg Drsya Viveka, you will remember these 5 all the time. Okay, so Asti, Bhati, Priya, Nama, Rupa are there. So now I see an object in the external world. Okay, so here is my transponder. Okay, so this is like a vehicle transponder, right? So what I see here is in this transponder is I see Nama. This is a transponder and a Rupa. Okay, this is a it's like a rectangular shape, etc. Right? But what am I missing? I am not focusing on Asti, Bhati, Priyam. So now this Bahih Drisyanuviddha says that shift our attention from Nama Rupa to Asti, Bhati, Priya. So I see this and say, this exists. This exists just like this credit card exists. Okay, just like this credit card exists. And these two exist just like this mouse exists. So what is common? Existence is common in between all these three. So now you focus on Asti, and now you see this existence. Is this existence is limited to this object and this object? No, it is not limited to this object and this object, but its existence is there everywhere. Okay, and this existence is because it is all over without any break anywhere. This existence is akhanda. Akhanda means indivisible. Okay, and one whole. Okay, so once I start looking at this way, what happens is that I start seeing at the existence, then I see the Chaitanya. Chaitanya means Chit aspect. How Chit aspect is there? Because in this one, is there consciousness in this or not? Because usually we say that consciousness is there in living beings, right? Are you conscious about something? Are you aware of something? So that is what like consciousness, awareness, etc. is that. Now, what about consciousness in here? Does it have consciousness or no? Okay. The answer is there is consciousness in here. However, because there is no mind, right? Antakarna, there is mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara is not there. Subtle body is not there for this object. Consciousness is not reflecting. Because consciousness is not reflecting, the power of consciousness is invisible. Okay? And so that is why when you see outside objects, non-living objects, you can only see the existence. Now, in case if you see a living being like a monkey or a donkey or a human being, right? Then you can see the expression of that consciousness as a movement or things like that. Okay. So, but no matter what you see in the world, you can see asti, definitely yes. Bhati, the consciousness in some, okay, because it is the manifestation of that consciousness is only possible through living beings, not through non-living beings, but it is there everywhere. Okay, so consciousness is also possible, and then ananda. Now, how do we see ananda? Okay, actually, ananda is easy to see in non-living beings than living beings. Ananda means it is a state of contentment that where it doesn't have to do anything, it is happy and perfect on its own. Now you see a, a ball. Okay. If you see a ball, now this ball is resting. How long is it going to rest? Until someone kicks that ball, it is resting. Now, once someone kicks, because of the power of the kick, it is running for a minute, it is moving for a distance, and afterwards it comes to a still stop. Once it gets stopped, again, it is in its own natural state. When it is in its own natural state, there is no need for it to transform into something else or do something else. That contentment is inbuilt in all things. So that is called as ananda. Okay, that is one aspect of ananda. So Sat, Chit, and Ananda are there in all objects, living objects or non-living objects. So in living beings also, what we are trying to do is there is a little bit of a imbalance. Okay, just like when the ball is kicked, there is a little bit of a power that was there because of that which the ball was running. Okay, so there was a rajas aspect was there in that ball because of the kick. But as soon as the power of the kick is over, it has come to its own natural state. In our case, as long as the rajas is going on, okay, rajoguna is there, we are doing some dynamism is there, and so we are not able to experience our ananda. But the moment the rajas and tamas are gone, then in absolute sattvic state, we will be able to see, experience our ananda. Okay, so this way, whenever we are looking at outside world, if we the easiest thing is to focus on asti, that is the existence. So just shift your attention from nama rupa to asti bhati priya of that object. So this is Drishyanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi. Then Bahih Shabdanuviddha uh, Savikalpa Samadhi is something that we have to see now. Okay. So let's go through sloka number 28. Okay. I will break down the words. Akhanda Eka Rasam together becomes Akhandaika Rasam Vastu Sat Chit Ananda Lakshanam. Sat Chit Ananda Lakshanam. All these four together become Satchidananda Lakshanam. Itya Vichchinna Chinteyam. Okay. Iti Avichinna Chinteyam. So, Itya Vichchinna Chinteyam. Okay. Three words. Samadhi Madhyamo Bhavet. Samadhi Madhyamaha. Together becomes Samadhir Madhyamaha. And with the Sandhi to the next word, it becomes Samadhir Madhyamo Bhavet. So this is the breakdown of this shloka. Okay, words of this shloka. So please repeat after me. Akhandaikara vastu
Akhandekarsam vastu
Satchidananda Lakshanam
Satchidananda Lakshanam
Ityavichinna Chinteyam
Ityavichchinna Chinteyam
Samadhirmadhyamo Bhavet.
Samadhir Madhyamo Bhavet.
So here, this shloka is referring to Samadhi Madhyamo Bhavet, meaning this Samadhi is Madhyama. Madhyama means middle. Middle what? Okay. It has with reference to, we said, Bahih Drshyanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi, Bahih Shabdanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi, and Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So between these three, the one in the center, the one in the middle is Bahih Shabdanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi. So this Samadhi Madhyamo Bhavet is referring to this Bahih Shabdanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi. What it is saying? Idam Vastu. Okay, so Vastu is there, right? Akhandaika Rasam Vastu Satchidananda Lakshanam means Idam Vastu. This Vastu is Akhanda. This Vastu is Eka. This Vastu is Rasam. Okay, Eka Rasam means Eka Rasam. Eka and Rasam means Eka Rasam. Okay, and this Vastu is Sat. This Vastu is Chit. This Vastu is Ananda. And all of these are this Vastu's Lakshanas. Okay, that is what it is saying. So that means what? It is describing the nature of Brahman in terms of what it is. So, in general, what you can say is Drshyanuviddha is saying what it is not. Shabdanuviddha is focusing on what it is. Okay. So usually, like wherever in any shlokas that we try to we read, there are two parts to it. One is that it describes what it is not, then it describes what it is. So for example, as an example, take Nirvana Shatkam. Okay? The first three lines of each of them describes what it is not, and then the fourth line says what it is. For example, the very first shloka says of Nirvana Shatkam, Mano Buddhir Manobuddhyahankara Chittani Naham Nacha Srotra Jihve Nacha Ghana Netre. Right? So, Nacha Vyoma Bhumir Natejo Navayuhu Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. So, what happened? Mana Buddhi Chitta Ahankara I am not. Mano Buddhyanka Chitta Naham. Nacha Shrotra Jihve Nacha Ghana Netre. I am not Shrotra Jihva Grana Netra, meaning all the Indriyas Jnanendriyas I am not. Na cha vyoma bhumir, na tejo, na vayu. Means all the Panchamahabhutas I am not. Okay? And then it says, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am Chit Ananda Rupa, I am Shivam. Okay? So that means first three verses are negating, the first three lines are negating who I am not, and then it is saying who I am. So this what I am not is being described in Drshyanuviddha. What I am is being described in Shabdanuviddha. So here, what it is saying, so because it is being described what I am, what it is saying, I am Akhanda. Akhanda, again, we just mentioned, right? It means it is indivisible. So anything that is indivisible, why it is Akhanda? Because whenever we say, um, if at all like it can be divisible, so that means that those parts are there and those parts together came and joined to make this whole. For example, take a car. Can car be broken into pieces? Of course, yes. What parts it can be broken into? Tires. It can be, okay, what are some parts? Tires, doors, okay, engine, etc. Airbags, lights, etc. Right? So what it means is that before the car was manufactured, those parts were manufactured. Okay. So for a car to be manufactured, before the car has to be manufactured, these tires have to be manufactured separately, the airbags were manufactured separately, lights were manufactured separately, and engine was manufactured separately, and they all were brought together, and then the car was manufactured. So that means what? Car, just because car it can be broken into multiple pieces, what does it mean? That it has got a predecessor. So something precedes the car, right? What is preceding the car? The parts of the car are preceding the car. In the same way, if you say anything has got parts, then that means that those parts have been created before the whole is created. So now when you say this is akhanda, okay, it is indivisible. So that means what? It is partless. If it is partless, that means that there is nothing that is preceding this Brahman. That is what akhanda. Okay. Ekarasam. Ekarasam means it is so, how do I say, it is of one homogeneous. Okay. So that means now if you look at water, right? Now, if you take a glass of water, that it's actually from it is actually between a discussion between Uddharaka and Shvetaketu, this comes. Okay? Where Uddharaka is teaching about the nature of Brahman to his son Shvetaketu. He asked his son to bring a glass of water and asks him to taste it from the top. And how does it taste? Tastes like so and so. Actually, I think he mixed some salt also before that, and then or salt or sugar, and then he asks, taste it from the top. How does it taste? It is sweet. Taste it from the center. It is sweet. Taste it from the bottom. It is sweet. Why? Because it is homogeneous. So there is no difference at all. So that means this ekarasam implies that because there are no parts, every portion, wherever you touch, there is no difference. So if, for example, if I look at my body, my whole body is me. From top of my head to bottom of my feet, it is me. But where my hands are, my legs are not there. Where my legs are, my nose is not there. So even though there are, I would say like this whole body belongs to me, there are differences within me. Okay? Whereas in Brahman, there is no such difference. Okay? Any portion of Brahman is identical to any other portion of Brahman because it is one indivisible. That Akhanda, that Ekarasam, that Satchit Ananda Lakshanam. Okay, so this is what is the nature of Brahman, right? Iti avichinna chinteyam. So, in this way, you should start thinking. Avichinna. Avichinna means without any break. Okay, without any break means that it is like a flow. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi gives an example. Ajyadharaya is the word that he uses. So where if you pour oil, right? The oil that falls, whether it's oil or ghee, it is one continuous stream without any disturbance. Now, like in contrast, let's say if you pour some water, what happens is the water, you can see within that dhara, there will be some disturbance. Okay, sometimes the force may be more, like it can spill all over, etc. But if you're pouring oil, it has got like one stream. Okay, it is as if you take a picture, it looks like a small a beam or a rod or something like that, right? With no difference. So that, I mean, like no changes in it, right? So that is what this uh, avicchinnata is, okay, without any break. Okay, so iti avichinna chintaya, without any break, we should think about it. So obviously, it is not possible right in the beginning because every time I think Satchit Ananda Swarupa. Yeah, understand Satchit Ananda Swarupa. Yeah, it's 8:50. I think 8:15. So I need to stop my meditation by 8:30. So I had to make sure because I had to go out quickly. So I had to be aware that I don't spend too much time on meditation. Oh, I am Satchitananda. So this is how my meditation would go on, right in the beginning. Then slowly, what happens is the other things will fall away, and that these thoughts would have single stream of thoughts, and eventually it would be these thoughts alone with other thoughts not disturbing at all. When the other thoughts are not disturbing, that state will become samadhi. Okay, and what is that samadhi? This is madhyama samadhi. Madhyama samadhi, madhyama is referring to the description of the list. Okay, referring to its place of this particular samadhi in the list being antaha Shabdanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi. Okay, so I want to pause here and see if you have any questions before we go to the next sloka.
No, this one was straightforward. I do understand. You clarified the key terms, so now it makes sense. I go to the shloka, verse, it makes sense. That's clear. Thank you.
So let's go to the next sloka.
1 second. Sorry. So Madhyam, I'm just relating the diagram. So Madhyam, you said was
And
in which,
yeah,
sorry.
because it is Bahihi. I might have said Antaha, but it's actually Bahihi Shabdanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi. Yeah, we are talking about Bahi today. Yeah, because it's external. Okay.
Yeah. Please.
Now,
Yeah.
then the next sloka is describing the Samadhi, which is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Okay. So here Stabdhi, okay, bhavaha. So, stabdhi and bhavaha, two words are there in first word. And together they become stabdhi bhavo because it is the sandhi is there with the next word. Okay, stabdhi bhavaha together becomes stabdhi bhavaha, and because of sandhi it becomes stabdhi bhavo. Rasaswada tritiyaha. In this, there are three parts. Rasa, aswadat, tritiyaha. So, rasaswadat tritiyaha. Purvavanmataha. Purvavanmataha has got purvavat and mataha. Purvavat and mataha becomes purvavanmataha. Etaihe samadhibihi. So these are singing words. Shadbhirnayet. Okay. Shadbhirnayet. Shadbhihi actually. Shadbhihi is one word. Nayet is another word. Shadbhirnayet. Kalam Nirantaram. So these are words. Okay? So this is a breakdown of the words in the shloka. So, okay, so please repeat after me. Tabdhi bhavo rasa swadat
Sabdhi bhavo rasa swadat
trutiya purvavanmataha
tritiya purvavattaman mataha
purvavanmataha purvavanmataha
purvavan mataha
etaihi samadhibhi shadbhihi
etaihi samadhibhi shanbhi
नयेत कालम निरंतरम.
nayet kalam nirantaram.
So this trutiya is there, right? Tabdhi bhavaha rasaswadat trutiya. Trutiya means this is the third one. Third one in the list of Bahih Samadhi. Bahih Shabdanuviddha, Bahih Shabdanuviddha, and then Nirvikalpa. So this is referring to the third one. That means this is referring to the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Okay. And Purvavat Mataha. Purvavat means, Purva means prior. Purvavat means just like prior. Okay. Purvavat Mataha, just like prior. Okay. Stabdhi Bhavaha. Stabdhata. Stabdhi Bhavaha. Bhavaha is a feeling. Okay. Bhavaha is a state. Bhavaha um, is a state of mind in this particular context. What is happening? Stabdha is there. Stabdha means there is no movement. There's an absolute stillness is there. Stillness where? In the thought. That means there is no more thought. Okay? So when there is no more thought, okay, that there is, so when there is no more thought, what happened? There is no more thought modification. When there is no more thought modification, when there is no more modification, we said it is Nirvikalpa. Okay. And now we have to rasa swadat. Rasa swadat means we must enjoy this. Okay. Rasa means taste. Aswadana means enjoying that. Okay. So this Tadhi Bhavaha Tritiyaha, just like the Purvanmata, this must be enjoyed. Meaning what it is that one should appreciate this nature of reality through this Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And then here, the second line, what Bhagwan is saying, I mean, like, so Vidyaranyana is saying is, he is giving us instructions. Because so far, he started describing, saying that, how did this whole discussion has come? If you remember the overall thing, there was Asti Bhati Priya Nama Rupa. Okay. You had to upeksha, drop off the focus on these last two, and bring the attention to top three. Now, how you are going to do? That is through 6 ways, the 6 types of samadhis that he has described. Now, after describing all of this, he is bringing back to the thing, saying, Etaihi, these are samadhibihi shadbihi. So that these are the 6 types of samadhis. Nayet kalam nirantaram. We have to practice these samadhis nirantaram. Nirantaram means all the time. So in Sanskritam, nirantaram has got an interesting meaning. Nirantaram means is dirghakalam nairantrika satkara. So that means you have to practice for asevita dridam. Yeah. So it has to be practiced for a long time. Long time means it's not like, oh yeah, I practiced last month, I practiced this month. I mean, like last month I did 2 days, this month I did 2 days. So for past 7 years, I'm doing like that. Not that. Okay. Nairantrikam. So that means you have to practice for a long time, but also on a regular basis, every day. Okay. Oh, every day I do it for 2 minutes. No, no, no. Even every day you have to practice for a long time. Okay. And oh, I'm practicing, but my mind is not there. No, no, no. It has to be a satkara. Satkara means with devotion, with love, that has to be practiced. Okay? So that, when you do that, that is called as nirantaram. So now the question is, what exactly is nirantara practice? Right? So in our daily life, it is kind of tough, but according to Vidyaranya Swami, this practice must be done. I mean, like he was writing this for the people who are sannyasis, or who focused. I mean, like sannyasis means like not essentially sannyasis, but who were walking this path all the time. So for them, it is described, it is mentioned that Dirghakala Nirantaram, what it means to them is, because you want to walk this path completely with complete focus and attention, you practice it for Muhurta Kala, I think it is 24 minutes. So you do Antaha Drsyanuviddha for 24 minutes. Then you do your daily routines, whatever you need to do for 24 minutes, another Muhurta Kala. Done? Okay. Come back and get into the Samadhi again. Maybe this time you do Antaha Shabdanuviddha. Then again go run your duties for 24 minutes. Then again come and get into Samadhi again. Okay? So like that, it has to be done. And this is what Swami Vidyaranyaji prescribed to his fellow monks to practice. Of course, we are not monks like them. We don't have that enough energy. But at least if you are able to do one Shabdanuviddha and one Drishyanuviddha every day, that would be a very good start. Okay. So, because what happens is, we understand we have all our knowledge. However, this knowledge is removing our doubts, removing our ignorance to a certain extent. But there is something called Viparita Bhavana in us. Viparita Bhavana is something like this. I know that I am Brahman. However, I know that I am Brahman and this entire universe is one and the same, and everything is Maya. Brahman alone is real. I know, I understand, I do believe in it. No question. However, my mind is saying, that's all fine. Let's go out and have some fun. Why is my mind saying, let's go out and have some fun right now, as opposed to saying like, okay, so everything is Brahman, I already understand, why can't I abide in that, right? This is because we have lived as Jiva with the feeling that I am this body. The Jiva Bhavana was there, but from time immemorial, or like a beginningless time onwards, we were Jiva and we are Jiva still today. And this feeling that I am Jiva is there for millennia. And because of that, all our vasanas are Jiva vasanas. Jiva vasanas means I want to become a millionaire. Okay, I want to grow in my job. I want to grow in terms of my profession, as in like in terms of my status, right? My promotions, etc., whatnot, right? I want to become a CEO or whatever. And if I become CEO, maybe let's start with small company, but eventually I should become CEO of the richest company in the world. Then, so like that, I want my children to get married to the best people. They should have best life. Okay, I want. Like this, all of these desires are all based upon, okay, all our desires, all our anxieties, etc. They're all based upon the notion that I am a jiva. And this is not one vasana or two vasanas, but these are multitude of vasanas, that countless vasanas are there. And when we have this knowledge that I am Brahman, these huge number of vasanas, they overpower this knowledge, that we newly acquired, that I am Brahman. And in front of those vasanas, this knowledge can't stand. The only way for this knowledge to take roots and vanquish all those vasanas is through nididhyasana. Dhyasana means going into samadhi and abiding in this truth and practicing this truth. So only then we are going to have our liberation or deliverance from our samsara. Hence, these 6 types of samadhis that are described in this text are to be followed. Now, the typically like the practice that we do on Wednesday evenings, that they belong to the category of Antaha, Shabdanuviddha, Savikalpa, Samadhi. So that is the one that we try and do on our Wednesday evening sessions. Okay. So just so you know where we stand with respect to the text that has described these 6 types of samadhis. So with that, I'll pause and see if you have any questions.
No, no, this is good. This is very good. And um, yeah, this relates to our tomorrow's meditation also. So that's really excellent. And particularly since last session, where that touched in the meditation was um, looking very relevant to the session. Um, so yeah, this is going. I'm getting some good experience of it. So I really appreciate this. This was very good text. I really loved this. This gave me a lot of depth.
So we will take the next shloka in the next session. So shall we conclude then today? We will chant Purnamadam. Om. Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamādāya Purnamevāvashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.